where you been and where you going. This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's You Be Trippin, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to You Be Trippin.
Wow, you're really good at this.
Thanks.
You just like, it's like something in you just turns on and then...
Yeah, where's that always? It seems pretty fake, right?
We've been sitting here for an hour and a half just talking like human beings.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the camera comes on and you're like Mario Lopez.
Oh, my God. I got to do it again.
No,
hi, guys. Welcome,
don't do it again.
Welcome to the podcast. Those at home, me and Greg are hanging out. That's the podcast with the most amount of hemorrhoids in the podcast scene. And every week we go on a different trip to a different place and such.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
It is weird when every time I go into a fucking hotel room,
Yeah.
it's like Mario is my guest. You turn on your
You watch them.
TV. Well, he tells you what movies are on.
Oh, really?
Oh, you never saw that?
Nuh-uh.
As soon as you turn on your TV in the hotel,
It's him hired by
it's
the
always
Hilton
like,
Corp?
hey, I'm Mario Lopez. Get together for a couple of wacky vacationers. Charlize Theron. He tells you the pay-per-view movies.
God, that guy. What a career he's had.
Yep.
What a career. She was just an actor, and then he just goes to like being a fucking hot guy.
Hot guy who, and this is not, I'm not spreading rumors. This is fact. I mean,
Okay.
like Wikipedia fact.
Yeah.
He went on his honeymoon with his wife and cheated on her on the honeymoon, and she divorced him before they got home. Yeah. And he's like a devout Catholic.
What? I mean, story tracks. Those Catholics, you can't repress.
You can't. You can't repress people. This is what they're going to do.
I saw outside Montreal that strip club that we used to do that's not happening at.
Yeah.
It gets seedy right at midnight.
Uh-huh.
And we saw like a fucking Hasidic Jew dropping off a fucking hooker, a fat black lady hooker out of his car.
Nice.
Can't repress.
Yeah. I know. Like if you think about the people that are in open marriages
Yeah.
and then you say to them, yeah, but how often do you guys step out? They're like, almost never. It's because
Right.
you're allowed to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, do it, whatever. And it's like, well, I don't want it anymore.
Exactly.
Dude, they had a National Aquarium, I think, or the one in Baltimore. Maybe they had one of the fish tanks, and it said, do not touch the water, like on it. And it's like, oh. And then all the fish swim at you, and you're like, oh, it's piranha? Why would you give us the option?
Yeah.
And the sign is just... Greg,
So you're saying Catholic priests are like piranhas?
oh, interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, how could you not cheat, though? If you're that hot and chicks want to just throw themselves at you, you're not. It's not the same playing field.
Well, that's why you shouldn't be allowed to get married if you're a 10. 9s and below can get married.
It's just it's unreasonable
Yeah.
to have a 10 and be locked up.
Mm-hmm. To be a 10 and be locked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. No way.
No.
Imagine if you think you're a 10 dude, but you're just like a rich guy with stockbroker who's looking good.
Right.
I make $4 million a year. And then she's on her treadmill and she steps up next to some fucking half a billionaire.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
Say, no, my mom thinks you're a great catch, but we're done now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's why you and we know our women love us.
Yeah. They're not with you for your fucking scalp.
Nope.
All right, Ireland. That's where we're headed. You're going to tell me about that.
All
When'd
right.
you go? Tell me about the whole thing.
Well, when I graduated high school.
Okay. Oh, before even college.
Yeah, it was before college.
I'm so jealous of this. Every
Yeah.
time I hear about a fucking 18 to 25-year-old trip, I'm just like forlorn.
Yeah. Well, I think my father had kind of a wild few years before he got settled down. So I think he gave me the advice to do this. But I got out of high school. I had no intention of going to college at all.
Yeah.
So I graduated high school. I started working at TGI Fridays. I was a cook. I was a line cook, and then I parked cars during the day at a country club. So I saved up. I just remember I worked for 6 months,
Yeah.
and I saved up $3,000, which sounds like Not a lot of money.
No, it does not sound like a lot of money.
Back then, $3,000 got me. I went to Europe for 6 months by myself.
Europe?
And backpacked around and came home with money in my pocket. Yeah. Youth hostels, hitchhiking.
$3,000 in Europe.
Yep.
For 6
Well, it
months.
was 1984.
Right, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years later, it'd be about $1,000 a month to live low level in only Southeast Asia.
Oh, this
and
was low level.
South America.
Yeah, this was very low level. So I get to Ireland and I meet up with this kid. I go to Cork City, which is a great city in Ireland.
Okay.
And I meet up with this kid who's like, I got a buddy back in New York who's got a cousin in Ireland. And he's like, oh, you gotta meet up with my cousin if you're going to Cork City. So I call the kid and he's like, all right, yeah, meet me at the court. The bar was called the Courthouse.
Yeah.
It was across the street from the courthouse. And I walk in and I walk in and he immediately fucking knows it's me because I got a backpack on and I'm wearing a pea coat. I'm wearing a pea coat in Ireland. And he comes over and he's like, I can just see that he's got a gun to his head. He's like, how's it going, lad? How are you? He no fucking interest in me. And he's in college. And so I end up drinking with him that night. And in Ireland, you go, if there's 3 guys, then you each buy a round. It's just if you're with 6 people, you're gonna drink 6 beers that night. If you're with 10 guys, and they say if it's your turn, they go, the tide's out, lad. That means you got to go get the drinks.
I love that.
So I drink hard with him that night. We hit it off. I stay at his house, and I end up spending like 3 weeks at his house with his parents.
What?
And he's got like 6 brothers and sisters, and then I was like, all right, I'm heading off. So he goes, I'm coming with you. So he takes off from school.
What?
Takes a break, and we hitchhike over. We're in Cork, and we're going through to Kerry, which I think, and Macroon was the name of the town. Do you have Macroon up on the map?
Macroon.
So I think it's between Cork and Kerry. Macroo. No, N. Macroon.
Oh, Macroon.
Macroon. And so you hitchhike, and the thing is in Ireland back then is everybody hitchhikes. Oh, there it is, Macroom. That's what it is. And everybody hitchhikes. So it is...
41-minute drive. It's not that bad. But you hitchhike that far?
Yeah, we hitchhiked from Cork to Macroom. And so it's not that far. But to get out of Cork, there's all these college students, and they all go home on the weekends. And so they just, you line up and you get in queue on the way out of town to hitchhike. And it's like, you get up, you get picked up.
And then
the next hitchhiker gets up and they hitchhike.
And people just kept picking you up?
And they not every car, but like in a rotation, you get picked up. And obviously the hot chicks get picked up right away.
Not you. No.
And so we're trying to get to Killarney, I think. And we only get to, we get, the ride we get is to Macroom. And we're like, what the fuck is Macroom? This is before there's GPS on your phone or anything. And we got a map out. It's not even on the map. And so we get out and we find an Airbnb. It's just called a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's an old lady. And she's like, okay, you have to be in the house by 10 o'clock tonight. And so we said, okay. And we go out and we get some fish and chips. And then we find that they call them discotheques. Like instead of nightclubs, they were called discotheques.
That's how it used to be in Israel.
Oh, really?
Discotheques, yeah.
Yeah. And they're just like, it's just like basically a glorified, pub. And we go in.
With dancing.
Yeah. And we're the only kids not from Macroom in this town. And then they start playing Sugar Hill Gang and Run DMC. And they're really into, and I'm from the suburbs of New York, but I tell them I'm from New York.
Yeah.
And then I start breakdancing.
What? Really?
Not well. Well, I was a gymnast. I grew up as a gymnast. And so I knew I could do standing back flips. I could do back handstrings. I knew how to spin on my back. I could pop and lock a little. Yeah, I wasn't good. The popping and the locking not as good, but the acrobatic stuff. And so I could do it to the beat.
Spin?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that go down and spin out?
Yeah. And so I'm doing that. And you got to picture me in a discotheque in Macroom, Ireland. I'm suddenly like a superstar. This kid's from New York and he's breakdancing on the floor. And so girls are like, we're getting attention and we're hanging out with the guys. And we meet these two girls. And then we go back to their place. And I'm with my buddy Tio. It's Theo, but in Ireland you pronounce it Tio.
Oh, yeah.
And we go back to their place. And, you know, I'm 18, Tio's probably 20, and these girls are probably like 27. And so we go into their place and I start fooling around with the one girl. And then the other girl, like we're starting to get into it, which in Ireland is probably like I was lucky to get some tit, you know.
Yeah.
That was probably going to be all I was going to get that night. And then I hear screaming from the other room. Meanwhile, you know, I don't know what Tio's capable of. I don't, you know, what the fuck
just
do
met
I?
him?
I just met, well, I've known him for a few weeks, but like I've never seen him in the wild.
Yeah.
I've never seen him in Macroom.
Action, Tio. Yeah.
Action Tio. And so I go running in, and she's screaming because he passed out on her bed. And so she's freaking out because she can't wake him. And so
Just drunk?
yeah, he's just drunk. We're wasted.
Yeah.
And so I'm shaking him and he won't wake up. And so she she opens the window and starts screaming. And it's so weird. She was like reacting to him falling asleep. And so these guys come up and they come in and we get into kind of a fight with these two guys. And so we run out. It was literally like a foot race. And then they like pushed us and they left us alone and we went back. But now it's like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, you're not getting
And we
in
go
there.
back. We can't get into the place. So we sneak in through the window. And
So cool.
and we get up and we get up the next morning and the woman's mad at us, but it's part of the deal. She's got to make you breakfast. And she's got a furnace like yours, your heater.
Yeah.
But it's like from the 1940s, so it's big, and she's got her underwear drying on the grates of the heater.
Barf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're thermal. They're like old lady underwear, and they're thermal.
with the frills.
And I remember that the bed and breakfast in Ireland, the Irish breakfast is like
Oh, it's the best.
it's the best.
Yeah.
Every type of pork you can imagine, sausage, bacon, blood pudding, which is basically intestine with blood in it.
It's good, though.
It's great. And then they take fried eggs and beans and tomato, and then they
With
take
ham,
fried
right,
eggs
like
and they just fry one side of the egg, but they burn it. See how it's got black on the edges?
Yeah.
They burn the egg and then tons of butter and marmalade. And so we get that, and then Theo, when they left the room, Theo takes one of the sausages and he puts it in the crotch of the underwear that are hanging off the heater. And now we can't stop fucking laughing. And she goes, what are you boys laughing about? What's going on with yous? And so we finish, and then she finally throws us out. We're out on the street, and we just stand in front of her guest house, just hitchhiking. Hitchhiking away, and this car pulls up, and they pull over, and we start running for the car, and then Tio is so fucked up still that he throws up, and the car just pulls off.
It's like, no way.
And it was like 3 hours later, we were still standing in front of her house,
fuck.
and you could see her looking in the window, like, look at these.
It's like, get out of here. Like, we're trying. It's so embarrassing, too. Like, fine, lady, goodbye.
Yeah. And the goons are probably looking for us from the night before.
What were they mad about? They just passed
know.
out. What a
I
weird
don't know
reaction.
if Tio didn't tell me the whole story, but
Oh, yeah, that's it.
you know,
Yeah. Well, why she was screaming?
she was just screaming.
He just passed out.
Yeah,
Did he vomit in his own mouth?
I don't think he vomited. I
The
think
next day.
I don't think he pissed the bed.
He
but
did not. Oh, yeah, that would have been a bad one.
yeah, but yeah, look at that Irish breakfast.
Oh, it's got it all labeled.
Fried egg, mushroom.
Soda bread? Is that a thing?
Yeah, Irish soda bread.
Okay.
It's kind of like a cake, my mom has a famous recipe that's been handed down for apparently like 6 or 7 generations in my family, which is amazing because I didn't even know we had ovens going that far back. There was a famine. I don't know how we had an oven.
Just like, hey, if we ever get bread again, soda bread's our recipe. Remember that for your grandkids.
Yeah. So my mom makes a really good Irish soda bread. It's got raisins and caraway seeds and buttermilk.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
Was this your first time to Australia? So what else? So the grilled tomatoes, yeah, that's always good. Better than you think it would be, the grilled tomatoes.
Yep.
Mushrooms,
which grow like crazy in Ireland because it's like it's just damp and there's a lot of woods.
yeah, black pudding, yeah, we talked about that. Sausages,
Yeah.
hash browns. This is very well marked for fucking breakfast, whatever this site is. I can remember.
Yeah.
And then butter, yeah. Fried
Yeah.
eggs.
And
It's
then
fucking
brown
filling.
sugar in the middle.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you're Irish. Was this your first time to Ireland? At 18?
It was. I was 18.
Yeah.
And my grandparents, all 4 of my grandparents came over like steerage. Like they came over on boats from
Really?
Ireland. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Why? Famine?
they were all like, my grandfather, my mom's side, was one of 13, and his wife was one of 11. And it was like, why are you still fucking? They had a 2-room farmhouse. I found my grandfather's house.
At 9, you'd be like, well,
Yeah.
we're far past enough, right?
Right.
Far past enough.
Yeah.
Why are you still fucking? What's
Well,
the damage
look
it can
at
do?
the fucking these refugee camps in
They
in
fuck a lot?
Syria where they people have fucking 15 kids.
What is it about a refugee camp that turns these chicks on so much? I'm doing all this work for fucking nice art, and when you really get them to take their panties down is a refugee camp.
This is art.
Well, it's not here. Pay $30 for that.
Well, it's because there's no fat chicks in refugee camps.
No fat
That's why there's so
chicks.
much sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You work up an appetite stabbing someone for bread. Hey guys, I just got to break in real quick from this amazing pocket. What a fun time in this guy's life, Craig Fitzsimmons. But you know what else is a fun time? When he released a stand-up comedy special called You Know Me, that's available right now at Greg Fitzsimmons Comedy on YouTube. YouTube.com/@GregFitzsimmonsComedy. You Know Me, the brand new, long-awaited special from Greg Fitzsimmons, one of the best in the business. I'm not saying that lightly. He has been one of the top comics for decades, like 3 full decades. People sleep sometimes on him because he's not a new name on the circuit, but he's actually fucking hilarious. He never fucking, some of his best bits I remember those bits. I can't piss into a toilet without thinking of his bit about, shitting on pissy water, pissing on shitty water. And he's great. He's great, man. He's also got a lot of tour dates coming up that I'm going to read you right now. Comedy Works next week in Denver, Colorado, best club in the fucking world, August 29th, 31st. Then September, they got the Mothership, it's already sold out. The Montserrat Winery in Temecula on the 21st. North Pole Ale House in Alaska, Anchorage, North Pole, Alaska, I'm sorry. The Spur in Fairbanks, Alaska Centennial Center in Fairbanks. Wow, fucking cool, man, Alaska trip. And then in October, November, December, he's going to be in Tulsa, Tacoma, and finishing up December 5th through 7th at the Punchline in San Francisco. You can go to gregfitzsimmons.com for all his tour dates. As for me, I got nothing to promote. I'm not going on the road anytime soon. So I would just say, just subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast, wherever you're watching. I've also got merch available on my website, arishaffir.com. Grinders, T-shirts, the new Jew vinyl that's finally out. I saw one little misprint. I had to go back and correct it. I spent a lot more money on that. It's a deluxe double album that you guys are going to fucking love. Head over to arishaffir.com for that. And stay tuned for the outro where I'll do a sample Patreon. You Be Trippin Patreon. I read these postcards. I'm getting these postcards from around the world from listeners. I read them on the Patreon. I'll do one for the outro for this. Anyway, but that's it. Congratulations, Greg Fitzsimmons, on the fucking special. It's the biggest moment in a comic's life. Guys, just go over there right now. Wherever you're watching, just stop what you're doing right now. Head on over. Just Google You Know Me on YouTube, Greg Fitzsimmons. Just quickly leave a comment. Just just leave a comment about it, saying you came here from this, and in the outro I'll leave you or say I like those odds, and later we'll see what that means. It's a fun part of the podcast. All right, let's get back to it. Just go quickly, leave a comment, help the algorithm, help everybody see the fucking special. Do that right now. Let's get back to it. Greg Fitzsimmons in Ireland. So where were you headed? Why would you go from one place to another? Were you just trying to see everything, or what?
Yeah, I was
were you
trying to
going
see it
somewhere?
all. I mean, I was supposed to I was going to go for 6 months, and I was going to spend like a couple weeks in Ireland and then move on. But then I got there, and I just fell in love with the country.
Did you play golf at that time?
I did. I didn't play there, but I played at the Salt Hill Golf Club in Galway, which is up more in the northwest.
Okay.
And Salt Hill Golf Club, yeah.
So did you feel like connected to it and shit because of,
I did.
because of your
the
name?
second I landed, I was just like, these are my people.
Really?
Yeah, I got in. Actually, I landed in London, and then I took a train from London out to Wales.
Okay.
I think the town was Lawrence or something.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
So we went out to Wales, and then you take the boat from there over to Dublin. And
Up here. Yeah.
and then I got to Dublin, and I got to a
What year was this? Like
84.
84. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got to the bed and breakfast, and Ireland is very dank. It's very moist. And so the first night in the bed and breakfast, I had an asthma attack
Yeah.
that was so bad that the lady that ran the hotel, she was a big, tough Irish broad, and she literally, I was like hanging over her, and she half carried me to the hospital. And they checked me in, they put me on a ventilator, an IV, and I spent like 4 days in the hospital. I remember I read Cujo, the book Cujo.
The whole book while you were in there?
The whole book. That's all. It was nothing. There was no. I don't think there was a TV in my room. It was just like
Just to
5.
stop having asthma from being a fucking inbred?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, they were like, we can't cure you. You're just fucked up.
Yeah, and they gave me a lot of Irish soda bread, and
That's nice.
and the best thing was like in Ireland is socialized medicine. So I'm thinking, all right, my 3,000's gone. Like this bill is gonna, and they're just like, all right, thanks for coming, and they give me a bottle of pills,
Yeah.
and they're like, off with you, and that was it. Not a dime.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
What? Not even like a $10 or $15 copay?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Just free food for 4 days?
Yep. And a woman and a nurse who would come by like 3
She
times a
sucked you
day.
off?
No, better.
What? Yeah. That is a
What
bold
is better?
statement.
What's better than
What's
that?
better than a woman who comes by 3 times a day to suck you off?
I would say probably twice a day.
Yeah, 3 times.
I
Like,
think
this
3
last one's work.
Yeah.
Twice one day. I don't, every day. God, it's just like, we can skip. I don't need it on Tuesday.
Yeah. That's like that old joke about like the winner gets 3 weeks in Atlantic City. Second place, 2 weeks in Atlantic City. And so she would come by, this nurse would come by 3 times a day, and she would beat on me like I was a drum to loosen up the phlegm in my chest so I could breathe. And she would just be like, and it felt really good. And it felt very caring.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Damn. And that didn't sour you on fucking Ireland?
No.
Spend your first 4 days, 5 days.
The
4
same
to
thing
5.
happened to John F. Kennedy when he went over there.
Asthma.
Asthma. Went to the hospital.
Because it's so moist. Damn, I don't recognize it as moist.
It's subtropic, technically, because the Atlantic is coming off the West Coast.
Yeah. Like this way?
Yeah, but then I think the other side of the country is,
Subtropic.
A
What does that
different-
mean?
I think the currents
Oh.
that are traveling.
So it's moist in some way.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so you got to Dublin. How'd you
So I
find
get to-
Dublin?
I liked it, but I
Yeah.
really wanted to be in the countryside.
Yeah, Dublin's touristy now.
Yeah. It was still like, it was a big city. I liked it, but I really wanted to like do a lap of the country.
Yeah.
So I went down. I went down south.
Just hitchhiking. This is so fucking cool. I assumed when you told. I was like, he must have rented a car.
No,
84 at 18. No way.
no money. I just had. This is before credit cards, so I had traveler's checks.
So if they get stolen, they replace them. It's so old. I barely remember. So if they get stolen, you can be like, hey, someone took my traveler's checks.
Yep.
And then the whole time you must have been like, I should just fake lose these.
Well, to use them, you have to sign them. But yeah, you have to show ID and you have to sign them to get them cashed. But the problem is, if you're jumping from, like later on in the trip, I would be in 2 days in Belgium and then I would be 2 days in France. And so each time you go to a different country, you have to cash a traveler's check, which are for, like $500 or $100. And I'm only spending 50 to 100 for the day. Yeah. So now I've got all these, this is before the euro. So I have a pocket full of fucking French money. And now I got to convert. And every time you change it, you got to pay a broker fee.
You lose so much.
Yeah.
They tell you the exchange rate. You're like, all right, not great, but okay. And then they give you like a quarter of that.
Yeah. Right. So you're trying to like very judiciously cash your checks.
Uh-huh. How do you cash a traveler's check? Where do you go?
You have to go to a post office or a bank. And you sign it and you show ID, your passport.
God damn, what an old way to fucking go.
No GPS, so it's all like, I had a backpack just filled with fucking maps and you're like standing on the side of the road and you can't make reservations in
You don't even know if you're
advance.
going that way or that way.
No.
Wow. Yeah, no reservations.
Yeah.
God damn. So, like, how do you get to a town? It's like so hard to comprehend. You get off the bus, or whatever, he lets you off.
Yeah.
And then we just find somebody?
There was a book called Let's Go, and it was a travel book. There was Let's Go Europe, there was Let's Go Ireland, Let's Go Italy, and it would have like every town in it, and then you get to that town and it would tell you a cheap place to stay. It was like kind of like traveling on a budget. And so
let's go to Ireland on a budget.
Let's go Ireland on a budget. Yeah. So it would tell you like a place you could get a falafel.
Oh, wow. This is like Lonely Planet, but only budget.
Right. And so you'd get to town and you'd try to find that place. The best part was it made you interact with people because you were constantly asking for directions.
Yeah.
And then people in Ireland would often like take you in, or they'd take you there, or they'd buy you a drink. And it was like,
why? Because you're just foreign?
They weren't sick of Americans at this point.
And they just wanted to hear stories about America, or they just like thought you were cute? You were also 18.
Most of them sent relatives over to America in their past. So they had like this kinship to Americans who came over.
Was there still hatred of English then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This was during the Troubles.
Oh.
So the Trouble, do you know about the Troubles?
A bit.
It's basically what Israel and Palestine has had, is kind of like how Ireland and England.
You guys fighting over the one bottle of sunblock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's just intracted war where there's generations of people that feel like, look, you killed my brother. I'm not going to forgive that. And they're feeling the same way. So
Harris Pete had a joke about Ireland. He goes, there's racism and hatred all over the world, but in Ireland, white Anglo-Saxon Catholic Christians hate the white Anglo-Saxon Puritan or whatever it is, Christians. It just goes to show you, hatred finds a way.
Yeah, yeah.
They're exactly the same. Protestant versus it's like you guys are both Jesus people.
Well, but I think they blame a lot of strife is blamed on religion when really it's about real estate. It's usually countries fighting over real estate, and they try to blame religion.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, that's probably. You could probably take the other side of that.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's a lot of people who would argue that it's the religion, that it's the indoctrination, but I think it's economics.
Well, the Catholics own more of it, and they were like a clan?
No, the Protestants did.
Own more, and the Catholics like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Let us breathe.
Yeah, I mean, the Protestants came in with their guns and their big army. I mean, it's the British Empire organized.
Oh.
And the Irish were just simple fucking farming people. We've been occupied for 800 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
was that thing in Train Spotting when they're talking about the Irish being better than them because at least the Irish like fought back or something? I forget what it was.
Yeah. They
We're
never
just
stopped fighting.
shite.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So we get down. So we pull the map back up. So we head down and we get to. I get to Wexford. Was it
Wexford, is that what that team is? No, that's Wrexham.
Wicklow? So we get to Wicklow, and then Wexford is down below that.
And you're just trying to see everything?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Oh,
stop.
wow, so you went south. Okay.
Well, it wasn't like I was trying to see. It was like I picked a direction and I hitchhiked, and wherever I ended up that night, that's where I would stay.
Well, that's so fucking cool. Because also, like, you're not seeing anything in particular. You're just trying to see the country.
Well, that's a beautiful thing about Ireland is there's nothing to see. There's no Leaning Tower of Pisa. There's no pyramids.
Yeah.
There's no Eiffel Tower. It's just bars and beautiful
this?
green countryside.
Was what month of the year was this? What time period?
I was there from October until late December.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
it was kind of cold.
it was nasty, and it rains a lot. It's like a cold, rank, and it's kind of drizzling a lot, and then
Damn.
it comes down in sheets.
This in the summer seems like it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, in November and December, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm staying in different towns, and then meeting girls, but never getting very far. Like I
Why?
think I was
Because
in.
they're so Catholic?
It's so
you have no
Catholic.
game?
I didn't get I had game, but I didn't get laid in 3 months. I didn't get laid once, and I was an 18-year-old.
Yeah, this was hair, Greg, right?
I was not hard on the eyes,
Right.
Ari. I was. Pull up the picture.
Of what? You? do you have a young Greg?
No, I don't think so.
There's got to be.
Young Greg Fitzsimmons. I'll be
Hold
shocked.
on. Well, there's some hair.
Oh, hey, there he is.
Wow, and this is way later.
That's in my 30s. Yeah.
What?
Not bad, right?
No, not bad. That's okay. Yeah. This is way later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when did you lose it all?
I was probably 29 in that picture.
Here it's like, okay, beginning of the end.
Yeah.
And then here you've already started to like frown and you cut off the top of your head on purpose. Oh, did we frame it wrong? I didn't even know.
You framed it wrong. Yeah.
It goes to such a frown for those
What do
last
you think?
two.
I had a headshot where I cut off my
Look at
forehead.
that. Happy
halfway
with
to-
just a little bit left?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
No.
Yeah, you had a headshot where you cut it off.
Well, if you want to see something really funny, Google Greg Fitzsimmons and Rogaine.
What? Okay.
When I was about that age, and that headshot that you just saw, where the hairline's starting to go. Yeah.
So
click on
Rogaine
that.
ad?
Yeah.
Rogaine extra strength is proven to work for 4 out of 5 men.
I like my chances.
Only Rogaine has extra strength, and it's proven to stop hair loss or regrow hair. Rogaine extra strength, proven to work.
So funny. That's so fucking funny. Oh my god. You're 1 of 5. It's so like, if you could look at your future, it's so like, well, it turns out, 1 out of 5 is a real number.
They didn't mention that 5th guy with Dr. Fauci. He got everything right.
It's so confident.
Rogaine extra strength is proven to work for 4 out of 5 men.
Look at that. Yeah. It could have gone the other way.
Yep. So my agent calls me up. I'm like 29 years old. I'm getting ready to move out to LA. My agent calls me up and he goes, "Hey, I got a commercial for you." And I was like, "Great." And he goes, "It's for Rogaine." And I go, "Yeah, but my hair's not really falling out." And he's like, "Yeah." So anyway, the offer, he goes,
You can see it right there. It's like that big crown.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, well, let's not talk about that. But the offer is, it's like
so he's like, I was like, "Look, man, I'm about to move out to LA. I want to do some acting. Pilot season's coming up, and I don't want to be known as the Rogaine guy." He's like, "Dude, this is gonna run on like ESPN 6 at 3 a.m. during Korean women's badminton. Don't worry about it." He goes, "You'll make like You'll make like $40,000 because it was
those days.
It was like 5 ads.
Oh,
40 grand, health insurance, take it. And I go, I don't know. He goes, nobody's gonna say it. All right, so I take it. I shoot it. I move out to LA, and then March Madness starts, and it's running on March Madness.
every one of your friends sees it.
I
5
get
times
my
a day.
answering machine is fucking fudgy. I like my chances. Strangers, I'd be walking on the street and guys would be like, "Hey, I like my chances."
It's so fucking dumb.
Men, I like my chances. Only Rogaine.
Maybe that's what I should call my special.
I like my chances.
I like my chances.
It's so confident for a guy who knows about to go bald. I've been watching the old Sex and the Cities. I'm starting to watch them.
Yeah.
They're such a bad show.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I'm starting to understand, like, there's 2 characters that are really just sketch actresses and not, like, they're not actually, you shouldn't care about them.
Right.
But it's so interesting to watch it knowing the redhead chick is a lesbian.
Oh, interesting.
And so when you watch it with that knowledge, which means she was always a lesbian.
Yeah.
That means she was a lesbian then, right? She didn't
Right,
become
right.
one.
Yeah.
So, and then you're like, she's so mean to men. And you're like, oh, right.
Yeah.
She's a dyke. She's
Right.
fucking hating this attention. She's not attracted to anything. Of course, she's cranky.
Yeah. Wow, she really plays this subtext well in this series.
She knew what they were going to turn her into in fucking the reunion show. I like those odds. Okay.
Who's a lesbian? I just saw a lesbian do a sex scene. Oh, fucking. Did you watch Bad Lieutenant? You don't watch TV much.
No, I watch like shows though.
Bad Lieutenant? Not Bad Lieutenant. True Detective?
I saw some of the latest one though.
All right, the one set. Yeah, so there's a scene where Jodie Foster's having sex, like hard.
No, really?
This guy is pounding her into the wall in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom somewhere, but it's like up against a wall, and you can't. And I hate to say it because I'd like to think that gay actors can play straight characters and vice versa, but when you're watching her, yes. Just so people know, the Google is gay anal sex. Nothing more creative than that. Look at the guy on the right. He's taking it up the ass, and he's also stroking himself. Like, give it up for the other guy.
Wait,
Is this
where?
got to be all about you? On the right.
Oh, this one.
The big one.
Yeah. He's got to get something.
You got it. You got to take care of yourself even now. That's just selfish.
It's so moist. It's so glistening. What have I done? Okay.
Oh my God.
Ugh. Okay.
Just a couple of guys hanging out of your apartment at 11:15, looking at some gay porn.
Okay. So you just go from city to city. This is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Just go to bars and go to those fucking
Go
seats
to
and bands and
bars.
stuff?
Yeah, you see sessions. So every bar would have a session.
Okay.
Almost every night. There'd be just people come in with a fiddle, somebody bring in some drums, somebody have a guitar, somebody have a flute.
Yeah.
And they would just play traditional Irish music, which I knew pretty well because I grew up in a very Irish family. My grandparents, used to sing Irish songs, and my grandfather would recite Irish limericks.
So you could sing along with them?
Yeah,
It was those standards.
yeah.
Wow. Is this the kind where there's no like speakers? It's just like them playing. So if you get kind of far away, you
It's
can
just
barely even hear them.
it's twice the size of this room, and there's a fireplace going, and you
Yeah.
got a pint of Guinness, and
Could I get a Guinness right now? How triggered would you be if I drink a Guinness while you talk about bars?
Do it.
Are you cool with it?
no, go ahead.
Okay.
What do you mean? Like I'm not in bars every night of the week? So a pint of Guinness, and I was under the illusion up until we went to Ireland last summer, and I was under the illusion that Guinness had more alcohol in it than regular beer. It's
crazy.
actually
It doesn't.
less.
It's crazy. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
What is that ball in there? What is that? Why do they have that?
It has something to do with the carbonation.
Everybody says that. It's not really an answer though. So you just drink and go to these places and
Go
just
to
like
these
hang.
places, and you just sit
And
down
Tio
at
was
the
cool with
bar.
it too. He would just hang with you.
Well, this is before I got to Cork.
right,
so
right,
this
right.
is what
Okay.
I was on my own. And you'd sit at the bar and I put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here?
What? Say that again?
I was singing the piano, man.
Oh. I was like, none of that makes
And
sense.
some of Billy Joel's lyrics are just so incredibly great. And then some of it is just the worst. You know?
Yeah.
I Love You Just the Way You Are is one of the most
Yeah.
subtle, beautiful love songs ever written. And then Uptown Girl. You've been living in your uptown world?
It's just saying the same thing twice.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Where else does it go? Uptown group and living
Yeah,
uptown
uptown girl.
world.
And I'm just a downtown guy, man. That's what I am. Oh, here we go.
I bet she's never had a backstreet guy. I bet her mama never told her why. But he's going for it.
I'm going to try for an uptown girl. She's living in her white bread world. Aren't you white bread?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Billy Joel?
You're a backstreet guy?
Yeah. That's always funny when guys call themselves like Backstreet Guys.
That's
Bruce
him saying I'm
Springsteen.
hood?
Yeah.
Oh, did you go to music school in your back streets?
In Long
Graduated from the
Island.
School of Hard Knocks?
And when she knows what she wants from her time, and when she wakes up and makes up her mind.
She'll see I'm not so tough just because I'm in love with an uptown girl. Wait. Oh, I get it.
So he's a downtown.
He's downtown. He's trash.
Yeah.
They did not have that version of New York anymore. Like, where do you live?
Uptown?
Greenwich Village?
That's the expensive place now.
Now it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And uptown is all the black people.
Way, way uptown.
Well, when you say uptown, when I think uptown in New York, I
Yeah.
think of Harlem.
Oh wow, it just goes blank in my mind after like 98th Street. It's just like it just faded off in a fog. Because why would you be up there? Harlem does rule now. It's gotten nicer, and black people love gentrification there
Do they?
because they own the buildings.
Yes.
So it just raised their value when whites moved in.
Thank you, Bill Clinton.
He sold it to him.
I don't know if he resold it to him, but he brought gentrification to a whole new level. I think he had offices on 125th Street.
Oh yeah, they went up there for like the library and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, back to Ireland.
All right, so then I go then I get to Skibbereen, which is in Cork.
So you're picking a direction, south, north, whatever, and just going there? Are you like using the sun to be like, well, it's got to be that way? If the
Well,
sun's
I was
rising?
kind of using the Let's Go Ireland book but
Telling
it
you
didn't
places
have
to
a
go.
lot of information. Like
Right.
for one city, it might have one page for all your information. So you're kind of figuring it out, and then you'd run into other backpackers, and then they would say, oh, there's this great place here, and
Yeah.
they'd give you the number of somebody in that town, and you'd look them up, and
Oh, wow.
it became like a network.
That network is so cool and helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're just like, oh, I had this awesome thing. You should go there.
The best was I was in my fifth. I spent the last month of the trip in Greece, and I was getting very low on funds, but I had just enough money to, or at the time I had enough money to buy a ticket to see. I'm a Bruce Springsteen fanatic, and ever since I was a kid I love Bruce. So now I go over there, and somebody goes, "Do you want to?" I have one ticket to see Bruce on the 4th of July on the Born in the USA tour in Wembley Stadium in London. I was flying out, not making this up. July 5th, I had my ticket home from London. So, and I had a EuroPass, which, do you know what a EuroPass is?
Where you just get to go anywhere.
You could travel anywhere in Europe for free.
Damn.
So I bought a 1-month pass, but then it was paper. This is back before anything was laminated or had photos on it or anything. And so you take a razor blade and you just lightly go over the number and you change the date. And so I just changed it so I got a 6-month EuroPass. And so I'm in Greece, and I basically went from Greece. You can take boats and trains. And I
On
made,
Euro?
on a EuroPass. So I was on the beach in Greece, and then I took the train across Europe, got to London, went to Wembley Stadium, and saw, to this day, the greatest concert I've ever seen in my life. Like 4 hours.
What?
Wembley Stadium, Born in the USA tour.
Wow.
Flew home the next day.
Wow.
Got to the airport, called my mom from Newark, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, I'm home." And meanwhile, like we didn't really talk much on the phone because it was so expensive from over there. I would talk to them like once every month or two. And I was like, "I'm home." I was like, "Come get me." She's like, "You just hitchhiked all around Europe. You can't get home from Newark?" So I hitchhiked home from Newark Airport.
No, you did not.
Yep.
Did you really?
Well, I mean, I live
What a
in the
different
suburbs.
time.
It took
What
me
a
an hour.
different time before
Yeah.
black people. This is such a cool fucking trip.
Yeah, and so
Did you and you never fucked the whole 3 months?
nope.
Damn. What was your favorite places?
I loved Kenmare because that was see in the bottom left, Kenmare in County
Yeah.
Kerry. That's where my grandfather. No,
left.
that's Kinsale. Kenmare, just up from there,
I see it.
below. Yeah. So that was a sleepy little town when I got there in '84. It's gone. It's now like a very sought after tourist destination, but it's got
Why?
some beautiful old buildings. It's just a beautiful little town, and it's on the Kenmare River. And so I got there, and I rented, and I had this idea that I was going to write a novel. So I rented this.
That's rules.
I rented this farm, like there was a it was like a barn behind a farmhouse, and there was no heat. There was just peat, which is in Ireland. That's what they do for heat. It's basically like dirt.
Yeah.
It's like dirt bricks, and you try to light it on fire, which is very hard to do, and it gives off almost no heat at all, and that's your heat for the house. So I'm there in November, and it's pouring rain, and I'm trying to light these fucking peat bricks, and then I was going down into town, and there was a place called the Atlantic Pub. I don't know if the Atlantic Pub is still there, but I would go down there, and there was a girl named Molly. That's
What do you think the
Wicklow.
odds are that it's here?
Wait, put in Atlantic Pub Kenmare. You have
Kenmare. Okay. What are the odds it still exists?
who knows? This is a lot. This is
Oh yeah, Kenmare. Does this ring any memories?
That's it.
That's
That
it?
is it.
Really?
Yep. So she had dark, curly, thick red hair. That's me. There's the Rogaine. And oh my God. Wow. So I would sit at that bar every night.
No, really?
During the day, I was writing this novel, and then I would go there at night, and I'd flirt with Molly, who was the bartender.
Hot redhead.
Hot redhead with green eyes, sparkling
Wow.
green eyes, and she would, I'd buy a pint, she'd buy one back, and we'd hang out, and then I'd sometimes make out with her.
Really?
And I'd always ask to walk her home, and she would never let me walk her home. And so I stayed there for I must have been there for a month. And the farm was like a pretty good walk from town. It was a couple miles from town, and you'd walk down it was like a dirt road in the rain. But every night I'd come in, I'd get a bowl of soup at the bar. They have like beef stew, and like that.
Yeah.
And then I'd make out with her, and then I'd be drunk, and I'd go home, and I'd try to light a fire, and so after about a month, I finished It wasn't a novel, but it was probably like 70 pages.
Really? What
Yep.
was it? Did you ever do anything with it?
It was called Evergreen. No, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was so in love with her that I wrapped it in gift wrapping, and I gave it to her. And I said, I want you to read this. And it said dedicated to Maggie. And I gave it to her. And then I see her the next day, and she goes, "It was fucking brilliant." And the thing is, in Ireland, brilliant doesn't mean what it means here. It just means like your shirt is brilliant.
Okay.
Or that
Brill.
that pizza was brilliant. And so but I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have the heart to like ask for it back. So she just kept it as like a gift.
I fucking love 18.
I know.
What a dumb. You're like, I can't.
Yeah. Not even a hand job. Just.
Oh, what a dumb fucking young age.
I know.
When I
And
was
then I
probably
hitchhiked out of
15,
town.
I went to get the Heart new tape from Heart, the band.
Yeah.
But I was like, do you have the new Heart record? That's what they're called, like the album.
Yeah.
And he just got me a record. It was when it was split between records and tapes.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a record player. But I was like, so I just bought a record, an unusable record, because I couldn't say like, oh no, I meant tape.
Right. Baby Lestrange.
You're asking your fucking novel back.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Just because you don't want it to be awkward.
Yeah.
But I
hear
also, yeah. It's also like I hadn't really felt love. Like I really felt like, and part of it was just, it was pretty romantic time. And when you're alone at that age, you really feel things like so much like exponentially stronger.
Damn.
So whatever I was feeling for her, I really felt.
Yeah. God damn, yeah. What a fucking time. Plus, I mean, you must have been in sort of love before, but it's never like that.
I don't think I ever felt anything like that before.
God damn.
Yeah. And then I went back. So this would have been in 84. I went back there
Last year?
with my girlfriend from college. So that would have been in like...
3 years later? 4 years later?
Yeah, about 4 years later, I went back and we got to that town and I was traveling with my girlfriend and I asked for Molly and they said, oh, she's up north this weekend. She's not around this week. She was still bartending there. And I said, well, what's she doing up north? And they said, she's getting married, so she is. And I was like a part of my heart, even though I was with this girl now, my heart just, because I didn't want my current girlfriend to know how much I had riding on seeing Molly again.
Yeah, you couldn't let her know. That's actually such a dick move to even go there.
Yeah.
You're with a woman on this romantic trip.
I know.
And you're like, let me just check out this chick I used to like hook up with that I'll care about more than I'll ever be able to care about you.
That I put out an effort from the heart for her like I will never do for you. I wrote her a novel.
I wrote and gave her the only copy of a novel. I mean, what a fucking gesture. Shouldn't you print this up? No, babe.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Right.
this reminds me a lot of the season finale of season 2 of Sex and the City, where Carrie goes to meet Big at her engagement wedding, and the chick just has to sit there as she's waiting to talk to this older, cooler lady who's like, oh, you're a fucking ex? The one I met, you just broken up with her? She's a fucking sex columnist for the Times. She's so cool. And I just have to sit there in the car while you talk to her. She touches your face. Anyway.
Wow. Is everything in life a metaphor from Sex and the City now?
Dude,
for you?
I'm loving watching this because anytime I'm around a woman, I could just claim one of the episodes I watched the last couple days.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yes, I do remember that episode. It's the dumbest fucking show.
Yeah.
The writing is offensive.
It's all wordplay, right?
A ton of
Puns?
wordplay.
Yeah.
And they don't have the fucking... They don't just trust you as an audience member to like fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
She's like, suddenly the fucking lesbian is like, she's like, I'm a huge Yankee fan just this episode.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, this guy's the new Yankee. I'm like, say his name or position. What an odd thing to say.
Yeah.
The new Yankee's here. Here he is.
Right.
The new Clipper.
And then in case you don't get it, Carrie then does voiceover at the end of the show to make sure we can sum up what you just learned about
It's all
the
about
show.
playing ball. Some of us catch and some of us pitch. But in the end, aren't we all just enjoying a day in the park? Ugh. And that's just like that.
Cut to you an hour from now watching it again.
That's such a fun hate watch. It's so dumb.
We went to see the movie. Me and my friend Mike Dugan, our wives both wanted to see the movie. So on Valentine's Day, we took them to the premiere of, I don't know if it was a premiere, but it had just come out. It had just come out, the Sex and the City movie.
Yeah.
And we went in and we sat down and we're like, all right, we're taking one for the team here. And within 12 minutes, I leave and I'm just literally standing out front in the lobby and he comes out. And I was like, you done? He's like, yeah. And we stood out there for like an hour and a half and waited for the movie to be over. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking great. Yeah, it's just like, this is just time and place for them.
Yeah.
Gilmore Girls, Sopranos for fucking, if you weren't into it, the Italians get it on a different level.
Yeah. Right.
Did you do anything else besides just bars and restaurants? And just like hitchhiking around? Did you go hiking or did you go like...
Yeah. I went hiking and I went out. There's these islands off the west coast. If you go up the coast, called the Aran Islands, which
sounds...
further up. Did you see that movie, the Banshees of Inisherin? You didn't like it.
I mean, just tell them you don't want to hang out. You don't have to cut your fucking finger off.
But that's where, if you go left at Galway, go scroll down a little bit, see Galway set in.
Yeah.
Yeah, off of there, keep going straight out to the left, those islands.
These?
Yeah, I think those are them. Those are the Aran Islands.
Wow.
So that's Inishmore, where we went this summer.
Wow.
I just took my whole family, my mom and my sister and her family.
Do they have these cliffs out there?
Yeah, that's the Cliffs of Moher right there.
No, wait. But the Cliffs of Moher aren't on the island?
Oh, okay. No, then that's one of the Aran Islands.
It looks just like the Cliffs of Moher.
Yeah.
Damn. This is all pirate shit right here.
Yeah. It's staggering, isn't it?
Cliffs of Moher was like unbelievable.
Oh, you went?
I went wasn't after Edinburgh. It was on a European tour. And then it was like, okay, do Ireland. But I had a day off. So I went to, instead of flying to London from maybe Glasgow or something, I flew to, where is the Cliffs of Moher? Galway?
Just south of where you are.
County Clare, Ireland. Okay, yeah, right here. Cliffs of Moher.
Yeah, it's down
yeah, and then I
towards the
drove to
airport.
Dublin, and it's really not that long a drive.
No, it's not.
And I went and took side roads the whole way.
Oh, cool.
Every time Google Maps was like 5 minutes slower, you know,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay. Because I had like 2 days to get there, and it was like a 6 to 8 hour trip.
Nice.
It was so fucking cool. Went to Boston. Just discover these towns. I get what you were saying. And like some of those like pubs are just like, this is quaint as fuck.
Right.
Fucking thick meat pie. Listen to that that scene.
And there's no barrier of entry to conversation with anybody in the place. You can just sit down and they'll just start talking.
Wow.
Not in an obnoxious like American like, hey, how you doing? Just more like, about your soft night. This way, if it's a light rain, they go, soft night, thank God.
Soft rain night.
Yeah. Soft
Thank
night,
God.
thank God.
That's so cool. That's so cool. That's so cool. You can't do that anymore with cell phones.
No.
They're just like, oh, I'll busy myself.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool, though.
Right. They got a dog at their feet. The grandkid is sitting back there. He's 12. He's got a Coke, you know.
Yeah.
It's like multi-generation sitting around and listening to the same music with the fire going and, you know, it's a soft night.
When I was in Australia, my Airbnb was like, you know, the recommendations book of stuff. And they go like, here's a cool bar. The best 2 coffee shops are here. And then if you're up for it, the local is like a block and a half from here.
Uh-huh.
I just meant like the local bar where you can eat and drink.
Yeah.
But they have good food. And it's just like, oh, you guys go here like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
That sounds like those places.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the kind of thing that was nice about that movie, even though you didn't like it, was that, you know, that's your life. That fucking pub is your life. Which is nice if you can leave it. I mean, I guess it becomes a living hell if you live on an island and those are the only 12 people you ever see.
God, that must suck. I maybe go like, well, you don't even know what's possible.
Yeah.
That their life could be better every single where else.
Right.
If you grew up in like Manhattan and then moved there, it'd just be like eat lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is stunning, these cliffs. You went there during this trip?
Yeah, we went to the Cliffs of Moher. But anyway, on that trip, I went out to the Aran Islands and I spent a couple nights. And
what'd you get into there?
Nothing. Just a lot of hiking.
You did?
Yeah.
It's a cheap thing to do.
Inishmore, yeah.
Did you go from spot to like island to island?
No, I just went to Inishmore
Okay.
and bought a sweater. That's where you buy the famous Irish knit sweaters. That's where that was where they made them all back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're called Aran Island sweaters, or what do you call it, Aran sweaters?
Just wool.
Yeah, but it's a wool that you can smell the goat on it because they leave the wool oil on it. It's called lanolin, I think.
Yeah.
And it's
sounds
got
like
this
something.
special smell, and it actually whisks the water off, so you can wear it in the rain and you don't get wet.
Oh wow.
Because it's like a fucking sheep.
Wow.
It's like wearing a sheep.
Damn, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So you got one there, just take it around with you, so you don't.
Yeah, I
fucking die of
got that.
asthma?
Wore that nonstop.
God,
And
this is
then,
cool.
I
How'd
don't
you
know,
get
I
out there?
guess-
Boat.
Yeah, you take the boat out from Galway.
How much were the boats back then?
Not a lot.
Restrictive or not really?
It wasn't a lot. It was probably a couple bucks.
Wow.
And then I hitchhiked up to Belfast.
Okay.
And this, I was starting to tell you, is during the Troubles. So the Troubles started like in the late 60s and they went up until like the late 80s.
Was this was still the UK, or had they split it up yet? How was
Well,
that?
it's still the UK to this day.
And okay.
So you see that
Was Ireland then part of the UK?
the Northern Ireland is part of the UK.
But back then it was the same as it is now?
It's the same now
Okay.
as it's been for hundreds of years.
So the
Well, I
trouble
should
was
s-
in this area where they're like, get the fuck out? Or was the
Yeah,
trouble
the
down here
trouble is
too?
down in the south is called the Republic of Ireland, and then as you go up towards Derry and Belfast, that's where the troubles were, and it was
Okay.
essentially like when the IRA started to. It started off with basically like the civil rights movement in the States caused the troubles to start in Northern Ireland. They started to see that, that uprisings could do something.
Oh, wow.
And so they started to protest, and then the protest turned violent, and then they sent in the British sent troops in, and they started to really abuse the Irish, and then it just got
And then
entrenched.
they fought back and then fought
Yeah.
back and fought
Yeah.
back. So
Yeah.
when you were there, was it like no trash cans?
There was armed,
Wow.
machine gun guys walking down the street with machine guns, the cops and the troops.
Whoa.
And they used to come onto the bus. You'd be on a bus and the troops would get on with a machine gun and they'd walk up and down the aisles. Every time you went in a store, they'd check your bags for bombs. There's bombs going off all the time. And then you'd take the bus. It sounds like a lot of buses, but that's how I got around. And if you took the bus through Belfast, there was an area called the Falls, which is where the Catholics were. And when the bus went by, the kids would throw rocks at the side of the bus just all day, just fucking whipping rocks.
And they would just take it? That's
yeah.
Israel. That's the same as Israel.
Just graffiti and rock throwing, and that went on for 40 years.
Wow.
or
That is the
20
same
years.
as Israel. There's places you would go on a bus where they'd have the bars on the windows because
Yeah.
like they're going to pelt us with.
Right.
And you're just like, I'm just getting to my fucking cousin's mom's house.
Yeah. Well, the Irish Republican Army
Yeah.
helped train a lot. You're not gonna like this, but they trained the Palestinians.
What they teach them? How to rape?
Guerrilla warfare.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the rock throwing and all that shit
That makes sense.
came from Ireland.
Like, you know what your fucking, like, real fucking resource down there is?
Yeah.
A lot of rubble.
Yep.
So use it.
Yep. Blow
Damn.
shit up and then take the rocks that were caused by the car bombs and throw them at the
Yeah.
other cars.
I follow this Instagram account, but also just like it's a website, Popular Front. He just covers underreported wars and like skirmishes and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he won't take ads because he's like, I don't want anybody telling me which ones I should cover.
Uh-huh.
So he just does Patreon. But there's always videos on there of people like taking a vacuum cleaner and like throwing it at a cop car when the cops are like, we're not doing it, we're just trying to get out of here right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And they know it, and they're just
Yeah.
like fucking pounding on the windows. They know they'll get in no trouble.
Yeah.
They're always fun
Which
to watch.
countries?
It'd be like Belarus, but then it'd also be
Uh-huh.
like Spain or France
Mm-hmm.
during like something more recently that you like barely hear about,
Right.
or Palestine, Israel, or some protest in Berlin over Palestine and Israel.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and then you like walk outside, and you're like, things are great here.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire. There was one that was like this like tire fire in Paris, as these people were like drinking wine and like looking at it like a half block away at a cafe. It was like fucking Paris, man. They're nuts. They gotta have their wine.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it just becomes a part of life. You know, you think about how tough Russians are.
Yeah.
You know, just your typical fucking Brighton Beach Russian immigrant. They're the toughest fucking.
Yeah.
They're just life has no meaning for them.
And they got here
Yeah.
from just a fucking tough country.
So they were the toughest ones because they got the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the ones that got here. They didn't give up and fucking,
Yeah.
all right, fall in line.
Right.
I heard about this, one of the chicks from Pussy Riot when they got out of like Serbian prison.
Yeah.
So one of them came to LA or whatever and was like, fuck that, fuck Russia. And the other one was like, no, I still like Russia. Masha? Something like that. And she's like, so she stayed.
Uh-huh.
And then like started like trying to like lead protests and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, are you nuts? And they were about to arrest her again. Then she had to like in the middle of the night take off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of them is like really beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe that's her.
Maybe it's
Wait,
her.
Pull it up. Let's see.
Hottest Pussy Riot chicks in order.
You put up hottest pussy, it already started searching.
Yeah.
It had 8 million hits already.
Images. Let's see. Pussy Riot. Her?
Yeah.
Nadja. Yeah.
Yeah, Nadja.
Yeah, she
And,
is hot.
and she did like nude stuff.
Wow. The rest of them honestly look like Portlandia.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
for real.
But Nadja, look up Nadja nude. She did.
No.
Yeah, they did like a movie. Pussy Riot nude.
Is that
Yes.
what?
Yep.
That's like full penna.
Yep.
What?
I don't
They did a
think.
movie as an art piece?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Because it's an art collective. It's not a band.
Right.
Wow. I love when art just becomes porn. Well, this is fucking nuts. How do you apply for the fucking clown
What's
roll?
on her belly button?
Is that feces?
No, I think it's caviar.
Oh yeah, caviar makes more sense.
Damn.
Weird puss.
It is a little weird. It's left of center,
Yeah,
like
it's
her
left of
politics.
center and it's like out and in. I would love to see a woman like that be like one of those turfs. Just be like, we need freedom, we need everything, but these fucking trans women are not real women. They're a little different than us. I love seeing the line. There's this new game somebody taught me where you have to go around a party in LA or anywhere and just go, what makes you a bad liberal? And you have to say one thing that makes you a bad liberal. And some people will like half-ass it,
Yeah.
but some people are like,
Yeah.
or and it's like kind of a no judgment zone, and then it opens up a bunch of people start going like, yeah, I don't think whatever, like I don't
Right.
think Louis did anything wrong, or like, but like seems like Gaza started it, just like little things, like or like as of like before where it's like I feel like Joe Biden's not really with it, just little things like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not supposed to say that.
Yeah. And by the end of the night, it's like, I can't be in a pool with black people.
Conservatives complain too. There'd be another way. Yeah.
Yeah, what makes you a bad
I
conservative?
feel like some gun control is in order, right? Like, yeah.
I don't know, maybe 3 weeks into a pregnancy is okay?
Yeah. I just call them they if they want to be called they. It's not that big a deal.
I mean, it's not even an extra syllable.
It's not even. Yeah. All right. So hold on. So back here. So you took the bus up to Belfast.
Belfast. Yeah.
I have a friend, Paul Curie. He's an Irish comic, and he's a puppeteer also.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's so good. But
How did he learn puppetry?
he started as a puppeteer, but he said this hour he did in Edinburgh was all about like doing your own thing and not living in the shadows of everybody. And he said Frank Oz went to Belfast because all the Muppets, whatever, Jim Henson Corporation would go to like war torn places to try to like, because he goes, from where there's war, there's art.
Wow.
So they would like seek out, because they're like artists,
Yeah.
Jim Henson and Oz. And so they would go there, and like Belfast definitely like applied. So he's all these people showing up doing their fucking whatevers, and he goes, Frank, I was just watching them doing their puppets with each other. He goes, you guys still got it. We don't have it anymore in LA.
No shit.
You guys are like doing the real shit.
Wow.
Yeah. But he was like, it's fucking war torn. You could feel it there, huh?
Oh shit, yeah. It was intense, and it was very like there was a line. There's a road. I think it's Falls Road. I'm not sure, but like if you're on one side of it is Catholic, the other side is Protestant, and there's barbed wire walls.
No,
up.
really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Checkpoints. I went to both sides. I took the bus across.
Because you're Hindu?
Because I'm Hindu. Because I'm a self-loathing Irishman.
What are you, Catholic? Oh, I don't really go to church much, so.
Honestly, I didn't even know it was that bad up there because I was just kind of going.
A barbed wire fence like Berlin.
Yeah.
Wow. You were just going to check it out.
Yeah.
Damn.
There was a.
What'd you think when you got there?
I mean, it's beautiful. It's definitely it's a beautiful part of the country, but I was really like shaken up. Like it was really, I'd never been in a militaristic area before.
Wow.
And now I kind of think of like there's parts of this country that have gotten like that. You know, you really feel like, wow, this is like
What
fucking
do you mean?
scary.
Like homeless areas?
Yeah.
Like Portland, Austin?
Yeah.
Portland more.
Right.
It's funny,
Austin.
Austin's bad. Right near like downtown. Sucks.
Yeah. Right.
It's fun. I hear, like, I'm not in the news, but I hear talking points of like the liberal cities are falling apart, and it's like, because we travel a lot, and it's like it's every city, just most cities are liberal,
Right.
but the conservative cities are also falling apart.
Right.
Anything over like 600 people has like 20 meth heads.
Yeah. Yeah. Go to Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I'm sure things are not real rosy downtown.
That club in Missouri, Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
We were doing a tour bus, me and Renazisi and O'Neill. And we parked there, and some guys like looking at us like, you guys in a band? We're like, no, we're just whatever. But we parked next to the club, and this guy was like skateboarders. They all started to skate off. He goes, hey, you shouldn't park here tonight. He's like 16. We're like, what? He goes, it's not a good place. And then it was like all the homeless people were just walking from like shelter to like, I don't know, where they get food stamps or whatever.
No
Or where they
shit.
score. Then we just got out of there and went to the
It's always a
bus
bad
driver's
sign
hotel.
when like the
locals are
the
like,
local like skateboarders
Yeah.
are warning you about the real trouble.
hey man, you seem like a nice guy. You don't want to be here. Yeah, it's like a fucking bad, Stephen King movie.
Right.
Damn, that's crazy. Barbed wire fences and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you feel like in danger?
Oh, totally.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and I stayed in a youth hostel there,
Yeah.
and I just remember there was like there was like a shower, and it was co-ed. It was the weirdest fucking
What?
thing. Yeah, like I went in one day, and I've got my stuff, and I open up the door, and I walk in, and I see a naked woman, and I go, oh, I'm sorry, and I close the door, and I walk back, and then the woman comes out, and she's like, no, you come, and she was like Scandinavian, and she invited me back in, and like there was like just men and women, and I was like, this is so fucking random.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they were just like, that's fine. We don't care here.
it's fine.
And you didn't get laid in 3 months.
Nope.
Did you get laid when you got back?
No, in the rest of Europe I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Denmark was the next stop. Denmark was crazy.
Danish girls are the most equal women to men
Yes.
ratio of
Yes.
anywhere I've ever
Right.
been.
That is right on the nose. The women there are strong. They know their sexuality.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're just like, I buy a drink. Like, I guess this can be year round.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Right.
They're not like, you got to buy me out.
Yeah. And I slept with this girl who was very attractive.
Nice.
And thanks, man. But because having dark hair actually means something up there, because everybody's like blonde, and I had green eyes. You can see my eyes.
Yeah. Look bluish.
And so I wrote in my journal, I had sex with Latte was her name, short for Charlotte. I had sex with Latte last night. She's beautiful, but not that good in bed. I write that in my journal, and I'm staying at my friend's house, and she was a friend of his. And so I came back one day, and she had read the journal. I didn't know that at the time, but like we had sex again, and I thought it was over. I thought it was like a one and done. She didn't seem like she was that into me at all. And all of a sudden, she was fucking me hard. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? She goes, you not think I'm so good in bed? And I was like, no, now I do. Now I think you're awesome. You've really proved your point.
You really stepped up your game.
I'm glad you
was
look
this
at
the
your
first
Yelp
time?
reviews.
Yeah. All right. Listen, you're using the critique. Wow.
Yeah.
What? Did you go to this lake? What is this lake here? Right off Belfast.
What country is it? Oh,
Where's Belfast?
is that a lock?
Belfast. Yeah, it's a lock.
Yeah, they call the lakes
Massive.
locks up there. I'm sure there's a lot of bodies buried in that lock.
Yeah, probably right. So is it one of those where the trash cans were all gone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like random, like almost like a movie set, like fires and stray dogs and
Damn.
What
did your parents say when you got back? Did they have questions about it? Had they been there?
No, they got married there. My parents got married in Ireland.
Oh.
And both their parents were from Ireland.
And did you go from Belfast to just leave Ireland? Was that like your last stop?
Belfast,
Kinda
I
around?
went back to London.
Okay.
And then from London to
But then you left Ireland after that.
then I went to Amsterdam, and then
Did you make any friends in Ireland?
oh yeah, Tio is still a good friend to this day.
And he stayed around with you that whole time for the rest of it?
I've been over there. I've hung out with
You're
him.
still friends with him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
We were trying to hook up last summer when we were in town, and he was planning on driving up. He's got kids now, and then he had to cancel at the last minute. But yeah, we keep in touch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So fucking cool.
Yeah.
Fucking 35, 40 years later.
I know.
What?
Total soulmate. And then he came over, and then I went back, I don't know, probably 20 years ago. Yeah. My wife was pregnant with my son on one of our trips. And we hung out with my friend Lisa, and she's an American woman who, I'll tell you her name off the air, but she's like, she worked for Comedy Central, and I was good friends with her.
Okay.
And so she happened to be in Ireland at the same time as us. So we went out to dinner, and it was Tio and me and my mother and my wife and I guess the rest of my family. And then Lisa and Tio met, and they just clicked and they start flirting, and then they start talking on the phone, and I'm living in LA, and all of a sudden, like a couple months later, Tio's like calls me up. He's like, hey boy, I'm coming out to Los Angeles. I'm like, for what? He's like, just to see you. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so he flies into the airport. I pick him up. I drop him at Lisa's house, and he spends the entire week with Lisa. And then she goes over and stays with him. And then they were like falling in love. I think they were going to get married. And then it broke off because basically he had family in New York, and she came to visit him in New York and saw how Irish men treat their women. And like everybody finished eating, and the men all sat there and smoked, and the women all got up and they cleared the dishes and they did the dishes. And then the men sat and they watched sports. And she was like, I just couldn't see myself as one of those women in that kitchen. And it kind of was over.
She was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, smart.
Yeah.
Get out before it's too late.
Don't marry an Irishman. That's the moral of that story.
Dude, this rules. Were you able, when you got back after this whole long trip, nobody ever talks about these, but so you're gone for 3 months through Europe.
No, 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 3,000. How was getting home? Do you remember anymore?
I was homesick. You remember, I was a teenager,
Right.
This was hard. It was fucking work. Like the thing is, people think traveling is a holiday. Isn't that resorts are holidays?
Yeah.
Traveling, like again, No credit card, maps, no reservations, fucking changing money in different denominations and getting scared you're going to get jumped and meeting new people. And, you know, I didn't have like social skills. I was kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
So when I got home, I was so homesick. By the time I got home, I was just so happy to like see my buddies again. Like there was a girl that I was kind of dating and all of a sudden I'm like hooking up with her again and it's steady and my mom's fucking cooking me meals. I'm sleeping till noon. I got my old job back at TGI Fridays cooking. Life was good.
Damn.
Yeah, there was no reentry problems at all.
Oh, that's cool. Damn. Yeah, you must have missed your like mom's cooking and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get any fights the whole time? I mean, the mixture of
trying to think if I got any
and
fights.
anywhere. Were you a big fighter yet at that point? Did you have the Fitzsimmons rage yet?
I got in a fight when I went back with that girlfriend that I told you about. We were staying in a youth hostel, and this guy, we got drunk, and then this guy started hitting on her, and I got into a fist fight with this Irish guy, and the lady that ran the youth hostel kicked us both out, kicked me and Cindy out, and that guy out, which was awkward because we had just been fighting, and now we're like out on the street.
Sure, cab.
Yeah. And I remember we had to go into town and we had to spend a lot of money on a hotel that night.
Ugh.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I fought during the rest of that trip. I don't think so.
You were just nice to everybody you met.
Yeah. There was a Moroccan guy that I got in a shoving match with because with the EuroPass, he'd always try to sleep on a train. Like we took an overnight train from Paris to I can't remember where we were going, but like, you know, you get in one of the sleeping cars.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a sleeping car. They were like cars and they were like benches and you try to sleep on them. And then these Moroccan guys used to come in and they'd wait till you got to almost at the train station and then they'd grab your bag and they'd jump off.
Yeah.
And so this guy grabbed my bag and I woke up and I grabbed my bag and then we started fighting and then he jumped off the train at like, 3 a.m. in whatever town we were in.
Fuck.
Almost lost everything.
Fuck.
My whole pack.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That would ruin your trip.
I know. Had my fucking journals and my
that'd be the worst part.
pictures.
When I went to Asia and I was like always scared of like someone's gonna take my stuff. Just every once in a while I'd calm myself. I'm like, you're fake poor. You're not actually poor.
Yeah.
You can as long as you have your credit card, you can just buy new stuff.
Right.
You just no one will know, and you'll just go back to like fake pouring.
But what if you lost your passport and your credit card?
I don't know. That's a good question. Right? If my
Did you have a backup credit card anywhere on your person?
I think I did, but I think it was in my bag. So I had one in my bag, one in my wallet.
Yeah.
But like, if they just took everything, or if like a hostel burned or something,
Yeah.
yeah, what the fuck would I do? I'd have like $20 on me probably,
Yeah.
and then like, how the fuck do I?
Fuck.
I'd have to find a phone somehow or an email. You get an email saying, I need money, send money. I'm in
Yeah,
Cambodia,
right,
please send money.
right.
Like, no way. Fuck off, nice try. I'm like, no, it's real this time. Just at least $100. Don't go crazy. I have an aunt who is like a big fucking Republican and a real nice lady. But she's talking about America. She's like, it's the only place where you can show up with like, $10 in your pocket and turn into a millionaire. And then I heard it was the first time I heard that as an adult, and I'm like, you'll be dead in a week.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right.
You have 3 hours to get a job. And if you don't get a job that first day, okay, a slice of pizza at the worst, it's $1. That's 1 day's meal and one slice of pizza.
Yeah.
You're fucked. As soon as you get a little dirt on you, you're not getting a job.
All right.
How is that going to work?
As opposed to like a village in Nicaragua where they would just kind of like, you'd become part of the
Take you in.
community.
Hey, can I do any work for anybody?
Right,
I've got
right.
strong hands. I'm willing to work.
Yeah.
Sure. Here, rake. Here's a fucking pence. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what is this? Yeah. It's so funny to like rehear the lies they told us. Dave Smith said that about George Washington. He was like, they told us when we were children that our first leader was literally incapable of lying.
Yeah.
He physically could not do it. And we all just bought that.
I know.
Fucking 12-year-old.
Yeah.
No, shut up.
Right.
No way.
Yeah. He could murder.
He could murder. Sure could
He
murder.
murdered a lot of people.
With his gout tooth. Damn, this trip sounds fucking sick.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures if you,
You
want
have
to post
pictures?
them on this. Yeah.
You have pictures?
Yeah.
From then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll put them all in the
Okay,
video.
great.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I mean, nothing's going to top the Rogaine ad, but I'll send you some pictures.
Yeah. It's so cocky. It's not even like, I tried it. It's not even like that. It's, trust me, guys, it's going to work out for me.
I like my chances. Let's just say this.
So cocky.
I like my chances.
All right, this is what I ask everybody too. This did make me want to do exactly this trip. I remember Luis Gomez told me if like these podcasts, I should say if like it makes me want to do it. I want to do this exact trip. Even though I did it from here to there, I do now want to go around and just like
Do a lap.
I did this at Great Ocean Road in Australia where I was just like driving. I had these plans of like I'll get to Apollo Bay the first night and I'll do
Yeah.
this hike and this hike. And then like halfway through, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get to the hikes. I'm definitely not getting to Apollo Bay. Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, fuck. And then, but now with Google Maps, I'm like, all right, hotels within 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
When the sun goes down, I'm like, I guess I'll just stay here, and it's all fine.
Yeah.
When you have 8 days to get somewhere, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's such a fucking freeing thing.
Yeah.
Like anywhere is the right town.
But getting off the phone it adds so much more to that because, you know, you could be anywhere and be on your phone.
Yeah.
But to be someplace where you have to ask for directions, where you're forced to need, well, you know what brings people close? When you need something from them,
Yeah, I gotta ask you.
I got to ask you, and now,
Yeah.
yeah,
Even if it's just, hey, which way's, you know, whatever. Which
Right.
way's Greenwich Village? Which way's like, is Chinatown that way? And you're like, yeah, then you have to interact.
yeah,
And you have to help them. When they're
Right.
like, is Chinatown that way? It was, I did this yesterday. I'm like, yeah, just keep going down. You'll hit it.
feels good, doesn't it?
It does. You're like, I want to help. I got
Yep.
to help someone. Because at first you're like, I don't know. Oh, I do know. Hold on. Yeah. 3 blocks, lady. You're almost there.
Yeah,
And you're like, I did it. You're like a superhero. Yeah, just how to ask people. And then like, what are you doing here? Must be like a cool. It is fun when people are like, what the fuck are you doing here?
yeah.
You're from New York City and you're in fucking Nowheresville.
You're in Macroon.
You're in Macroon.
breakdancing.
They're like, well, how do you know about us? You're like, I don't. You're in this book, but
Yeah, but it was funny too because it was like a 1950s kind of like the guys are all going, "Who's the new guy in town?" And the girls are like, "He spins on his back."
oh yeah, I'm sure you'd be like, we're a second away from getting jumped. You ever get robbed or almost that one time?
I
But
don't
no,
I think
never
that's
like.
the only time I got robbed. Oh no, well, when we were in Greece, when we were in Athens, Athens is if you're gonna get robbed in Europe, it's likely gonna be in Athens. And we stayed in this.
Gypsy crap.
We stayed in a youth hostel, and I remember we were out, and our bags were there, and we came back, and like half the youth hostel was empty. Like I think it must have been like an inside job,
Yeah.
and like half the knapsacks were just gone, and ours were not.
Really?
Yeah,
Prime suspect.
right.
How come yours are here? You're like, don't you think we'd also steal our own? Like that's what you want us to believe. Of course.
Yeah, I got traveler's checks I can't cash
Yeah.
because I don't have the passport.
Oh, the locks. You have to put locks on your thing, and you're like, but it'd be easy to if you have a clipper just to get through this
Yeah.
little cage.
Right.
You're just hoping they don't.
Yeah.
2 questions.
Yeah.
It's where else do you want to go, and also if you have any travel tips in general.
Oh, okay.
In general, travel tips.
I'd like to go. I was just saying to I was at dinner with my wife and her mother and her boyfriend. Sicily. I've never been to Sicily. I just read a really good book by an Irish author named Rob Doyle. I can't remember what it's called, but and it's about he's a teacher in Sicily, and I just think that Sicily would be. It's fucking huge, by the way. Look at how big Sicily is.
Yeah, it's like a quarter of Portugal.
Yeah,
Pretty fucking big. Look at all that. It's about the same as all that
yeah.
down. Definitely
Yeah.
bigger than Israel. Yeah, it's a little bigger than Israel.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd like to go.
What do you want to see there? What do you want to do there? What's calling
I
you?
think I'd just like to. Apparently, there's like beautiful churches. There's like amazing tile work. Like a lot of the immigrants that came to New York back in, the early part of the 20th century were master tile workers from Italy, and they were mostly from Sicily.
Really?
And that's why you see so many of the trades,
awesome.
the unions in New York was a lot of Italians because they knew how to do tile work.
Really?
Yeah.
So they came over with that know.
Yeah.
I love seeing how like just the quickness of like how a culture like gets together.
And
We
the Irish
had the
became
fucking-
cops because they could fucking beat people up.
We had the seamstresses. Yeah, exactly. You guys are good at fucking. Oh, give me a club.
Yeah,
Give me a
right.
club and no rules. Yeah. Just waving that stick around.
Yeah.
Acting like a big man.
Right.
Oh.
I got a problem with authority. I get to be authority. Yeah, I'd like that.
Oh, that's right by Malta. I almost went here for COVID.
No
We went
shit.
to Ecuador, but we narrowed it down to cities that were good on COVID. So like
Yeah.
Brazil was out. I mean countries. Brazil was out. Who wouldn't quarantine our dogs, and then who would take Americans, which was a very low list of who would take Americans.
I didn't realize
we
that.
had one of the least valuable passports during that time, but and then yeah, we didn't have to quarantine our dog, and Malta, and then there was like Prague, but I'm like I'm not going there in the winter. But Malta was definitely the small island in Malta.
Wow. That looks amazing.
Yeah, it would have been like fucking cool. Maybe here or. There's 2 islands. Am I wrong? Oh, yeah, here it is.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going up there. But then we were like, oh, we got to take a fucking shuttle to a flight if we want to get home. We
My
wouldn't
friend
have
was
gotten to
just
get
like,
home.
I want to go to Indonesia. And he's like,
Really?
because I always wanted to have like sex, try having sex with like a lady boy, I guess they call them over there. And I was like, yeah, but you don't really need to fly across the world. Like, I'm
They have
pretty
those
sure
here.
there's like websites where you could find one in like
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. You kind of, I feel like I wouldn't feel guilty about doing it there because it's such a part of the culture. Have you been to Thailand?
Thailand, yeah.
Is it part of the culture there?
Yeah.
It is.
They're not looked at weird. And they are fucking vultures. They are like, what's that small dinosaur in Jurassic Park? They got you with, it's just one, but it's like, oh, cute. But it's like there's 50 of them.
Oh,
If you start trouble with a ladyboy, they all attack.
really?
Yeah. They all attack and they are fucking vicious.
Oh,
so it's like, you think like,
shit.
oh, I'll just beat up some like light looking man. And it's like, no, bro, don't. Wow. Yeah, it's part of it. No one looks down on them. They're not like derided. People will correct you. Like, it's trans, not ladyboy. I'm like, no, they go by ladyboy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to respect that.
Were you tempted to?
Yeah, I
try-
tried.
You did try it.
Yeah, I did try.
How did it go?
I couldn't go through with it.
Hmm.
But I found like a hot one.
How far along did it get?
I got to the door.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, you couldn't even go in and
I got
make
to like,
contact.
I choose you. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then as we got to this, like, it was just like my body froze up. But like, there was no, it was a hot woman. It was not just like a passes for a woman. I mean, like an attractive woman.
Yeah.
Like,
How did you picture it would go down if you would have?
I guess it'd be like, I'd probably butt fuck. Definitely a blowjob. And
You would
just, like,
get one or you would give one?
Get one.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. No, I picture like fucking them.
Yeah.
No, not like milking their little fucking shriveled nub. Today's trans, they fucking keep their hog, but those they take estrogen and shrivel up their nub. From what I've heard, I don't know. I did get a lot of hookers out there, but the one lady boy, I got one hooker out there, but the lady, I just couldn't go through with it.
Yeah.
It was real. It was distressing for me.
But it wasn't anything to do with her.
No.
It was all to do with you.
Homophobia.
She seemed comfortable with it. She didn't feel exploited or anything.
No, she's working for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no, nothing like that. Not like what do they call them? Fetishized.
Yeah.
They're like, I guess, who cares? It's part of it. Yeah, it was just my fucking my bigotry.
So do you have regrets? Do you wish you had gone through
Yeah,
with
I
it?
wish I would have. It's a hot woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in like trans. I don't think it's like a made up thing. So it's like, what's stopping me from hooking up with a hot woman?
Mm-hmm.
It should be nothing.
Yeah.
The dick, sure, but like, it shouldn't be a problem. That's a woman's dick.
Did you pay her anyway?
I don't remember. If I had to guess by looking at my life, I'd be like, no way.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, we
Except
didn't
this
do it.
other lady.
Yeah. If she was like, no, you got to pay. That's like,
Yeah.
oh, no, of
Yeah,
course I was
right.
going to pay. What are you talking about? I was just going out here to use my wallet. All right. What about travel tips?
Travel tips.
Yeah. Could be as broad or as specific as anything. So like travel light. Somebody just told me like put mushrooms in granola mix.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I would say when you stay at a hotel, I like to sleep late.
Okay.
If you go in the closet, you can always find a hanger that has, the clips for your pants. Take one of those hangers. You know how there's always that slit in the curtain?
Yeah.
You clip at the top. You do the 2 clips on the curtain and you seal it, and you'll have blackout curtains while you're traveling without having to pack anything.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
Especially for fucking jet lag where you're going to be awake till 1.
Yep.
Sleep till 1.
And then put it back in the closet. Don't make the maid do it. Here's the other thing. Are there male maids in hotels?
I've never seen one.
I've never seen one.
I've never seen one internationally.
Isn't that weird?
Internationally, I've never seen one.
2 jobs, a man. We got to let the women in the military, right? We got to let the women in the.
That's what they're telling us.
Where's the male maids?
Where's the male maids? There's male men?
Yep,
There's no male maids?
that's right. There's no male nursery school teachers. That's for damn sure.
That's for damn sure.
Never seen one.
None. You're right.
Yeah.
There was, when I was in high school, I remember a story that they fired a female construction worker because she was too hot, and everyone else stopped working. They would just look at her all day, and accidents were happening, and he had to fire her. And she was suing for firing with no cause. And I remember they were like, it's an interesting case because work was not getting done through no fault of her own, but because of her.
Yeah.
So like the guy had to fire her. And then he's like, I can't, nothing's happening while you're here.
Whatever I have to pay you out,
Yeah,
I will
just,
recoup.
I'll go under if I
Yeah.
have to hire you.
Right.
It's not, these guys are animals.
Yeah.
They're just like this and get hit by a fucking, one of those. Those are good tips. Tip your maid.
Tip your maid.
What do you leave them at the end?
I give them.
How much do you give them?
I give $3 a day, which doesn't sound like a lot. But
Everywhere,
if you're there for,
even in like shitty places, third world places.
especially there,
$3 a day when they're making $3 a day.
I mean, what's it to me?
True.
It's $3 a day.
True.
So if I spend Thursday, Friday, Saturday in a hotel, I'll usually leave $10.
$3.33 a day.
Yeah. Wait, how much do you leave?
Generally,
Yeah.
$0
Are
and
you
0
serious?
cents. Yeah,
No way.
yeah. I have cleared change off the thing before.
Dude, no way.
If they are exceptional, meaning almost always, if I leave my weed out and they come in, and one time in Montreal tidied it up, not only didn't take it, tidied it.
Yeah.
That's a tip.
Okay.
For keeping your fucking mouth
Now,
shut.
what about you're at a coffee shop? There's a line of people watching. Do you leave a tip for the person who is?
Baristaing me?
Yeah.
Always leave $1. If you and I are there together, probably $2. Because
Don't-
you're looking over my shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
If a woman is with me,
Yeah.
for sure
Yeah,
$2. I go
right.
straight to the 25%, not 15. If anyone's there looking. But we're both in agreement that it's obviously that, but now we have to do this because of fucking peer pressure.
Yeah. I went to.
What do? You go higher when someone's watching.
Here's what I don't do. No, I'm pretty consistent. Here's what I don't do. And I want to do a joke about this, but it's absolutely true. I was at like a CVS or a Walgreens, and they hit you with that shame thing where it was like, at the end, she says it out loud. Do you want to give $1 to the Childhood Diabetes Foundation? I go, yeah. Is this the company that has candy at child's eyes levels as far as you can see?
I remember when CVS stopped selling cigarettes, and they was like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, I mean, we're a pharmacy."
Yeah.
And people are like, "How are you gonna make a living?" And they're like, "I don't know, but we shouldn't be selling cigarettes."
Yeah.
And then I think they all stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah. Once again, Greg Fitzsimmons. I'll put it in the beginning. New specials out on YouTube right now. I wanted to announce your voice.
I'm very excited. This is actually the first even though I know this, we've pre-taped this. This is the first podcast that I've been on.
We did this a day before.
Oh, we did?
Sure.
Okay.
No, the Mark Norman's one just came out, and they were like, he said he was engaged. He got married a year plus ago. I started these so long ago while I was figuring it out. They're like, what the fuck? Kevin Ryan did one like, he has a nice car now. He says he has a fucking Corolla. No, he doesn't. I'm like, all right, well, the rest makes sense. So what are you going to say?
This is the first podcast I've come on in preparation for putting out this special, and you gave me a lot of good advice, which is going to help me a lot, and I appreciate that.
Be Jewish is what I said.
Be Jewish.
Have a rich uncle. Ride coattails. What's it called again?
It's called You Know Me.
You Know Me.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Filmed at the Mothership.
The Mothership in Austin, Texas. And
you didn't use a backdrop? You didn't change the backdrop at all?
No, we brought in some lighting.
Okay.
I think the backdrop is nice.
Yeah, you're the first one to it.
Yeah.
You're the first one to it. So Fitzsimmons also did one there, but he changed the whole thing.
He changed it, yeah.
But it was like only one guy gets the shot at using that backdrop, and it's you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I texted you because I was scrambling. I was like trying to work shit out, my special.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, hey, did you use the normal? But then I saw like a video. I'm like, fuck, yeah, he did. It's over. Because I was like, I can just do this quick. I can just film it.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, we need a whole fucking set design now. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Also,
I'm very proud of it. I'm excited that it's coming out finally. It's been, as you noticed, like I tried to film this a while ago and it didn't work out.
Good for you for dumping it.
So we dumped it and we started all over again.
Good for you.
And
A
now
lot of
this
people
is the one
just
I'm
put out
proud
a bad
of.
special.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I'm just too proud. I've worked on this material for a long time. And it's that joy. It's like part of me is like really proud that I have this stuff that I've worked on so much.
Yeah.
And then there's another part of me that's just like, I am ready to let go of that and move on to the next material.
Yeah. Have you been writing new stuff?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, I got that whole chunk about diabetes and
CBS.
Walgreens.
Yeah. You ever get terrible advice? Like, try Target. It might work better. And you're like, you're a fucking idiot. Shut up. Get the fuck out of here.
You're a fucking lawyer.
Yeah. I did comedy for a couple months back in 87.
Yeah.
And so I know.
I was a stand-up New York's funniest lawyer in New York contest.
That one makes me the maddest over anything. Someone who has done it. Someone who's never done it, I was like, I can see how you'd be too dumb to know.
Yeah.
Someone who did it and quit to tell a professional current comedian
Right.
that you know more than them.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called again?
You Know Me.
You Know Me on YouTube. Greg Fitzsimmons, YouTube/Greg Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, Greg Fitzsimmons, and then fitzdog.com is my website, I guess, and Fitzdog Radio is the podcast. Sunday Papers is the other podcast.
Hold on, boom.
There it is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Let's ignore these. When is it? Okay, this is what you'll be doing.
I think I just added some too.
Back at the Comedy Mothership.
Yeah, back at the Comedy Mothership.
Okay. North Pole. This is what I'm most interested in. North Pole Ale House. Come on. Oh, here it is. North Pole Ale House in North Pole, Alaska. The Spur in Fairbanks,
There's
Alaska.
not even a link.
Oh my God.
I think my website person couldn't even find a link for the gig.
And the Alaska.
Well, you can go to the Spur. Go to the Spur.
Go to the Spur, and then Bricktown and Tacoma. Both great clubs, actually. Okay, the Spur's on sale. Wow, $25 tickets. And plus
how
they
much?
Get $25. They get $10,000 a year just to fucking live there.
Yeah.
So easy.
Bring 40 friends.
Oh, you gonna go to the Fairbanks Ice Museum? You gotta.
That seems redundant,
You gotta.
doesn't it?
The Ice Museum. Here's like a circle ice. Now, this one's more of a square pattern.
Oh, and there's South Fairbanks in case it gets cold. You can go down to South Fairbanks.
Yeah, congratulations. But as good as it gets, no, fuck. Why do I have a block on this? I mean, hopefully they're yelling at me now. What's it called?
What?
What's your special?
Oh my God, really? It should be duly noted. It's now 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, fair.
It's called You Know Me.
You Know Me.
Yeah.
God damn. If you are watching, there'll be a fucking box that pops up right now. Just click on it and watch the special and tell everybody about it. Leave a comment on it.
That'd be nice.
Here's something we should do. We'll do this for every podcast. You find out where they found out about it from. So you leave a comment which like shows you where they came from. So it'd be like Danish girls are the hottest, or what's her name? Latte. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about latte.
Uh-huh.
Put a comment, something about latte.
Right.
Or what else could they do?
Iced latte, because it's Denmark.
Iced latte.
Yeah.
Okay, well, use your imagination out there, guys. Fitz, man, you're one of the best comics in the fucking world.
Thanks, man.
I'm excited to put it on the special. I quote your stuff so many times. It's just it comes up in natural conversation. Anytime I see a Fiji bottle, like you own that idea in my head now. Anytime I see when I piss on shitty water, I know it's shit on pissy water, but it's like I can't. I think of you so many times when I'm shitting, when I flush before I shit, and it's like you own that part of my brain.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody go watch now. Greg Fitzsimmons, thank you very much, buddy.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, that is the episode, everybody. Thank you, Greg Fitzsimmons. Everybody, go right now to his special at Greg Fitzsimmons Comedy on YouTube. You Know Me is the new special. It's fucking amazing. I've seen him run it. It's fucking hilarious. He is always hilarious. If you're looking for, I know there's a fucking flood of specials on YouTube, Netflix, HBO, Hulu, and Amazon and everything. And it's hard as a customer to know what you should be clicking on. You've hard-earned time off, and you don't want to click on something that might not be good. This ain't that. This is the highest level of stand-up. He's Greg Fitzsimmons, man. We all look up to him. We all look up to him. His joke writing is on par with anybody in history. He's the best. So go over there right now and have a fucking great time. Grapefruit Simmons. Fucking congratulations on your new podcast. On your new special, excuse me. So let's do this right now, everybody. This episode has been produced by Your Mom's House Network, edited by Alan Caffey, expertly. Thank you. I'm going to do a You Be Trippin Patreon. If you want to help me, subscribe to patreon.com/You Be Trippin. 3 times a month, I put out a new episode. A lot of them are with these postcards that you guys are sending from around the globe. I'm loving them. Send all these postcards to You Be Trippin, 151 First Avenue, number 49, New York, New York, 10003. It's only for postcards and very thin letters. I am getting postcards. I'm filling up the fucking back wall of the Patreon. Something just fall? No. Patreon studio, where I cut these. I go into different details about places. It's fun. It's fun. You should come along. And I'm using that money to send someone, one lucky person, not necessarily a Patreon person, but just somebody around the world. I want to send them on a 1-year trip to see the world on our dime, on the Patreon, You Be Trippin Patreon's dime. The old Patreon, the Ari Shaffir one, is dead. All right, so here we go. This is from the Jose Maria Velasco Museo Nacional del Arte. Jose Maria Velasco, Estado de Mexico, 1840. Ciudad de Mexico, 1912. Cathedral de Oaxaca, 1887. Oh, it might be an architect. So here's the picture. Put it in post. Thank you, Alan. Wow, where the fuck is that? I've never seen that. Look at the mountains behind. You think that's Mexico City? I heard Mexico City's in a valley. I've been there twice. It is pretty great. Let's read it. Ari, as I write this, I am in Panama. Oh, okay. Waiting for my visa to go to Venezuela. Whoa, cool. Legit traveler. Also, when you're writing these, put the fucking insert in. My advice, put the stamp on first and then write them, because some of these stamps in some of these countries are fucking massive. This one he sent when he got home. Clearly, USA forever. But some of these stamps take up a massive amount of space, and then you like run out of space. I get it. It's a postcard. It's not much space. I get it. I send postcards. to my mom and stuff, I send them. They're fun. You run out of. It's not the cool part and the bad part is it's not much space, so you run out of things. But also you're not obligated by much. Joey Diaz, when he calls me, I take his calls. People don't call a lot anymore. Joey Diaz calls, you take his calls because it's gonna be under 2 minutes. What's up, cocksucker? Just checking in. How you doing? Why are you ignoring me? I called you yesterday. 2-minute conversation done. If you're in the middle of something, like, hold on, it's Joey. This will be done soon. It won't be a long. Sometimes when I walk home from the cell late night, I'll call Matt Edgar, David Taylor, Tony, any number of people, just to shoot the shit. I got a 30-minute walk home. I'll talk to you while I do it, and then I'll walk around and around, talk an hour. It's just to talk. Joey Diaz, it's in and out. You take his call. Joey Diaz is the postcard of phone calls. As I write this, I'm in Panama, waiting for my visa to go to Venezuela. Damn, that's fun. It's fun. It's a fun part of travel to wait for your visa somewhere. So I was in East Timor. There's a island nearby. Let's see if I can find it. I took a ferry. Look at this ferry ride. Okay, open the maps. Look at this fucking ferry ride I took. I'll have a bit about this. I tried to write a short story about it, but it was so long. It was the worst ferry I've ever taken. I started in East Java. No. Where's Bali? So I started there in Bali. I was done, hooked up with some chick from UCLA. Very hot, very fun week. And then I was going to Lombok. So I went from Bali to Lombok, which is the island next to it. Lombok's where surfing is and stuff like that. I mean, so is Bali, but it's a way more quiet island. It's really cool. And I went to Kuta Lombok. Kuta Bali, avoid that at all costs. Fucking way overrun. Kuta Lombok is just cool. I learned to surf there. Good memories there. There was a tree that fell down, blocked the road on the way back from surf lessons. The guy who's giving me surf instructions, his cousin or whatever, was selling weed. It was the worst weed I've ever, even for Australia. Nah, Australian weed is worse. But he was like, check this out. And then it was just this brown. I'm like, bro, are you? I grew up smoking in California, in LA. This is crazy that you're showing me something you're bragging about. That's garbage. I did smoke on a hilltop with a bunch of people from Seattle. We had a great time. Anyway, so I was taking the ferry, right? So I'm in Kuta, down here. I asked the guy, like, how do I get to where I wanted to go see the Komodo dragons. Where's Komodo? That's what gotta be here. Yep. And I was like, how do I get there? He goes, you should fly. You should fly to Flores, which is here. Flores. Eastness, yeah. Yeah, this whole thing is Flores. Okay. Maybe it's a region or something. Indonesia is an island country, and they celebrate their islands the way America used to celebrate their colonies. And he goes, you should fly. And I was living like a backpacker, and I'm like, what's the other option? He goes, take a ferry. And I was like, okay. He goes, the flight's about an hour and a half. The ferry's like 4 hours. And I was like, I'll take the ferry. That sounds so cool. He goes, nah, you want to take the flight. And I'm like, I get it. You think I'm a fucking American traveler? No, I'm living the hostel life. I can do a ferry. I want to take it. All right. We went on a trip that he took me, charged me double, what he's agreed on, and he made me pay for gas. Around here to the ferry, missed one ferry, had to wait 13 hours for the next ferry, just at the dock. Then we got a ferry. We got on a bus, and I'm like, how do we get on a bus? I got to do a longer version of this. We got on a bus that drove on to the ferry. The ferry drove us to here. We were on Lombok. To West Nusa Tenggara. Got off the bus. I'm like, oh, are we there? They're like, no, we're in West Nusa. What? As soon as we get on the bus, by the way, I want to sleep. And they're like, no, get off, you can't. Then we drove all the way through Sumbawa, all these places. Right. And this took fucking 14 hours. And then I'm in the end of Sumbawa, which is right here. Where's the ferry from? couldn't be from here. I thought it's from over here on this right side. I might be wrong, though. And then we had to get another ferry, which I thought it was all-inclusive. It was not all-inclusive. Finally, just said, fuck it, I'll get a hotel room. Negotiate with the guy. It's like, I just want to sleep for 4 hours. He goes, here's how much a hotel room costs. I go, no, I just want it for 4 hours. He goes, no, the price is the price. I'm like, bro, I'm not using it for 24. I'm using it for 4. He gave me half price. Took a ferry all the way to Flores. And that took fucking 15 hours. Met some cool people out there. They were talking about like chartering a boat, and everybody there signed up. A Belgian guy, an Italian woman who's one of the best travelers I've ever met in my life. This German scuba diver guy and his chick, not his chick, but some friend he had. He also had a apps for the constellations, and we're on a boat, middle of the night. He just explored. He was just like, I went to the top. This guy was a real fucking explorer. I'm sleeping in my bag because I don't want it to get stolen. Like, everyone's out on the decks. I mean, it's dingy, bro. He goes, on top, no one's up there because the other people are just there transporting goods and stuff. We're there for travel. Pitch black up there. See all the stars. I was like, well, I didn't want to impose and be a third wheel. He goes, oh, no, this is just my friend. We're not doing shit sexually. But he was like, the moon's going to rise in 2 hours. Moon doesn't rise at the same time every day. And we like waited on it, all these beautiful stars, and then just a straight horizon. And then he goes, it's 10 minutes, you know, he counted down, and then finally like it's got a little like a little ball of like reflected light, and then the moon just appeared at the level of the water and slowly rose up. I've never seen a moon rise before that. I think I might have seen one since then. It was, goddamn, man, it was fucking great. But we did charter that boat, went to Rincha, went to Komodo Island. I touched the tail of a Komodo dragon. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Got a stern talking to from the guide. He goes, are you nuts? I'm like, well, you're here all the time. You must touch it. He goes, I've never touched one. That's crazy. If they can turn around, snap, bite you, your arm's gone. I'm in Panama for my visa to go to Venezuela. However, this card is from Munal in CDMX. Oh, Museum Nacional de Arte. Munal. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's that. Maybe not. Just wrapped up my 6th trip to Mexico. Oaxaca is my favorite spot. Been to Oaxaca. Let's see. Have I? Oaxaca, Mexico. By the way, this is the kind of fucking shit I put on my Patreon. So sign up, patreon.com/You Be Trippin. Oaxaca. Nope. I 100% have not been to Oaxaca. I gotta go. I've heard it's great. I heard they got that Cuchilla de Papel. The city of Oaxaca has long been considered Mexico's culinary capital. The most notable aspect of Oaxacan cuisine is a variety of moles. That's what it is. Mole, which is a type of complex sauce. Be honest with you, I don't like it. Not a mole fan. I've gotten it plenty of times. Oaxaca has the greatest variety, including negro, black, colorado, red, coloradito, faint red. Oh, I haven't had any of these. Maybe I got to revisit my opinion. I've only had the black. I've only had the negro. Man, negro is a fun word to say when you talk about mole. It's negro. It feels wrong. I do love a negro. Never had a Colorado, red, Cuchillo, and Verde, which is a green, Amarillo, yellow. Well, this is a fun one. Manchamanteles, literally translated to stainer of tablecloths. They're sold in markets all over the city. I mean, I gotta get here now. Bars of chocolate, made for hot chocolate, traditional breads. Chapulinas is fried grasshoppers with chili. Oh, that originates in Oaxaca. Okay. Tlayudas, which are large, slightly crispy corn tortillas piled high with ingredients such as grilled beef called tasajo, cheese, tomatoes, avocados, onions. I've had that in Mexico City, and they're fucking great. Guanabanas from there. Horchatas from there. Okay. However, this card is for Munal in CMX. It's in the painting is of Oaxaca. Just wrap up my sixth trip to Mexico. Oaxaca is my favorite spot. That might be deja vu for you because I already read it, I realize now. Hopefully you get another card from Salto Angel. Google it. In VZLA soon. Okay, well I will. Let's do it. Whoa. Angel Falls. Wow. Look at that mist coming up. Oh my God. Oh my God. You think that guy's still there? You think that fucking fake monk is still there? Wow. I mean, yeah, I gotta go. In VZLA soon. Venezuela. Political violence in Venezuela making this trip tough. Man, that's a good fucking travel note. Like I always recommended Ecuador, but then at some point, Ecuador is like, can't go there anymore, man. Oh, I gotta wrap this up soon. In Venezuela, political violence in Venezuela making this trip tough, but Canaima National Park seems worth in something also. In Mexico, I did also go on the hike to La Gloria waterfall. It's gorgeous. Your pal, Dolan. Well, Dolan, thank you very much. Sorry you didn't make it into the Patreon, but you made it onto the regular episode of You Be Trippin. And now comes the time where I continue to build this fucking wall of your... I love these, you guys. I love getting fucking postcards from around the world and seeing where you guys are going. I fucking get a kick out of it. I got the idea because in Edinburgh at the Fringe, Louis Katz is there now for one more week. Go catch him. Go over and watch a show. People would leave money from around the world in my bucket, change from like the Czech Republic, things like that. It wasn't worth anything, but man, it was so cool. I'm like, oh, these people have been places. And that's well before I started this travel podcast called You Be Trippin. You should subscribe right now. Also go to the Instagram page, You Be Trippin Pod. Subscribe on YouTube or wherever you're watching or listening, Spotify, whatever. And I thought it was so cool they've been places, and I've asked people to fucking mail their postcards, and please, you guys do too. Also, you can mail me money. I'm filling up the fucking regular studio all with money in the background from different places that the podcast has been. I need a lot of different countries that we've been to. A lot of EUs for sure, but I need some Thai money if anybody has some fucking Laotian, anybody. But if you want to send me a fucking small bill, don't make it worth anything, and I want to help decorate the wall with that. So, this is now going up. Thank you, Dolan, for this. Boom. That's been another exciting episode of You Be Trippin', everybody. Next week, Sean Patton comes on and tells me about Cuba. It was a fucking great one. September is going to be a blast on this show. Gonna have some fucking great ones, some big people you've always wanted to know about. Diaz is coming. Fucking Shane Gillis is coming. Hopefully Tim Dillon and Schultz is coming. We'll see who else. Harlan just did one that's fucking amazing. We got a blast of things coming up. I'm getting better and better at fucking interviewing people about this stuff. I always want to hear about it, but I'm getting better at fucking driving them and into a cool conversation. The Sean Patton one is great. You guys are going to fucking love that one. And go watch You Know Me by Greg Fitzsimmons right now on YouTube. Leave a comment, go back and watch. Even if you can only watch like 2 seconds, hit it so it'll remind you to go back to it. That's it, everybody. Until next week. I need to say goodbye in Gaelic. I should always look these up. Goodbye in Ireland. There's somebody who was a Slangofrial. What? Slangofrial? I'm saying it wrong. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Until next week. Goodbye.